Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage Evans TRIG-A-LITE Petrol lighter. Two-tone, enameled, and chrome with engine turning on the back side. You can see there the fill screw says Evans TRIG-A-LITE, which is one of my biggest complaints with Evans lighters in general, is that they're not marked very well. This lighter has been through a little bit. When I received it, it had screws in it, and the front screw or the back side, I'm not sure which, maybe both, were stripped out. So the front fulcrum screw had a tendency, as the mechanism was worked, to back out of there. And so far these fulcrum rivets appear to be doing a better job. But you can see this lighter shows wear, scuffs, scratches, scrapes, dings, corrosion, plating loss. I guess corrosion usually goes along with plating loss. I'm speaking of this spot back here, but I generally, in a description, am very liberal and cover all my bases as far as what's wrong with the lighter. But the enamel on this lighter is in very good condition, although it does show wear, scuffs, scratches, that sort of thing. I don't see paint loss. Definitely a scratch across there. There are cracks in the paint. It's a very attractive lighter. It was in the lot that I bought it in, it was really the one that got my attention. And when I got it here and started messing around with them and started trying to get it to light up, and all of a sudden the fulcrum screws were falling out in my hand, it was really disappointing. But I have also learned a lot about Evans and the Evans TRIG-A-LITE mechanism because of this lighter. And we'll see. I'm not ever planning on using this, carrying it in my pocket or anything like that. The paint is too nice. But I would like to be able to say that it is a working lighter, even if it's just sitting on display in my collection. And so far the rivets seem to be holding up all right. If you enjoy watching videos about old petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconista, and other useful mechanisms, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video that you're watching. Tell your friends about the channel. Hit that share button, send the link off in a text, email, post it on social media, however it is that you communicate with folks nowadays, and let them get a look at it for themselves. You can leave any comments or questions below the video. We would also appreciate it if you would follow and like us across all the social media platforms. That'll be Dependable Flame or dependableflame.com, on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, and of course eBay. So that's sort of a lattice design there on the back. And then I don't know exactly how you would describe that, sort of 6-panel with 4 of them being enamel, 2 of them being two-tone enamel, and the other just being black, along with the other 2 panels being the chrome bars. I'm not an expert on these lighters and certainly not on dating them, but I believe this particular lighter was probably from the 40s or 50s. And besides the fact of having to worry about rivets or screws and what looks like a rather complex mechanism, really is just 2 simple mechanisms working together with the TRIG-A-LITE system. But the leverage gained through it and the spark that an Evans TRIG-A-LITE puts out when it's working properly make it one of the more dependable vintage cigarette lighters that you can use. A real piece of workmanship. And from what I can gather, it appears that all the Evans lighters, the actuating mechanisms are interchangeable, regardless when they were manufactured or even how they look. Apparently they all work upon the same pattern as far as 2 fulcrum screws. So that all the other parts can interchange. I've seen a lot of enameled Ronsons that are very nice, and I frequent the Facebook lighter groups, the vintage lighter groups like OTLS and Vintage Cigarette Lighter Collectors Club, Zippo Addicts. And you see a lot of nice lighters, a lot of different paint and painting processes that are applied. And they're all very cool. and they all have their place in a person's collection. But the Evans, going back to the Evans lift arm lighters, a well thought out and executed, aesthetically pleasing example of a petrol lighter. Until next time.